all living things, the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism, typically microscopic and consisting of cytoplasm and a nucleus enclosed in a membrane. What purpose do these mysterious micro-things serve?
We believe that all cells have a purpose. If they don't do anything productive, they would not be necessary. In the big picture, a cell's purpose is much more important than acting as the root of all living things. When alone, a cell's main purpose is to survive. Even if you were a single cell, you would have a purpose. You would have to survive.
A marching band is more than just a group that marches in a parade playing music at the same time. It is a responsibility. Like a cell's organelles have a specific job, each band member must trust their section members to carry out his or her duty. What you're seeing now is a band rehearsal in full motion, each member playing and guiding off of one another. You have drum majors providing tempo to the drum line, who then delivers that tempo to the rest of the band.
During rehearsals, the band is always tweaking little things to make their performance better. This is like the plasma cell membrane because the band is getting rid of mistakes and improving the function of the band, like the membrane would remove waste and bring in nutrients. Checking that this job is done properly is band director Dr. Brad Sargent, who monitors the band members and their actions.
The band director parallels the nucleus in the way that a nucleus holds DNA. The band director holds music and controls the actions of the unit. Assisting the band director are the drum majors and band officers. These are similar to the nucleolus of a cell because the drum majors give the band tempo from the music they receive from the band director in the same way that the nucleolus creates ribosomes from the RNA they receive from the nucleus.
What we're going to be discussing next is the relationship between section leaders and the centriole of an animal cell. When a cell is getting ready to divide, the centrioles appear and help push apart the cell during division. The centrioles instruct the two opposite sides of the cell in the right direction so division is successful. Likewise, section leaders in a marching band instruct the rest of their section to the correct position on the field. Sometimes the band encounters a part in their music that is too complex to immediately play. They need someone to help break down the complicated rhythms, and to help with that, instructors come in.
Especially during band camp, the band director will hire temporary instructors that specialize on a certain instrument, such as the clarinet or trombone, to help with this process. The lysosomes of a cell, which digest food and break down dead cell waste, instructors break down or digest the music so the band members can perform well.
Although instructors for the winds are temporary, the drumline is lucky enough to have a year-round instructor. It's a good thing, too, because the drumline acts as the cytoskeleton for the band. The drumline's job is to support the band by backing up the drum majors and providing tempo, similarly to how the cytoskeleton of a cell supports its contents like cytoplasm, the nucleus, and other organelles.
The mitochondria in both plant and animal cells and the chloroplast in only plant cells serve the same purpose, to produce energy for the cell. The mitochondria is often referred to as the powerhouse of a cell because it produces ATP that the cell uses to perform its daily functions. As well as producing energy, the chloroplast also gives plants their signature green pigment. In a marching band, the auxiliaries add energy to the show by dancing. The dance line and majorettes can be compared to the mitochondria since they keep the band interesting with the art of dancing, and the color guard to a chloroplast because they add color to a performance with the use of flags.
Now this next bit is a little complicated, so let's bring out the old drawing board. To help the auxiliaries with their props are what we call runners. They are underclassmen, usually still in junior high, who aspire to one day be performing on the football field at halftime. Our runners are like the smooth endoplasmic reticulum in a cell because they have flags, batons, and other props at the ready for when the auxiliaries need them, much like how the smooth ER stores ions in a solution that a cell will need at a later time. When the cell calls for these ions, it needs them fast, and like our runners, the smooth ER has it ready.
Named for its appearance, the rough endoplasmic reticulum's job is to produce, fold, transport, and check proteins for quality. Once the rough ER has produced a protein, it takes the protein and folds it into three-dimensional shapes and adds nutrients that need to be shipped through the cell. Once shipping occurs, the rough ER finally carries out a quality evaluation on the protein to ensure correct ordering and structure. The RAR is very similar to the band booster organization, not because anyone is particularly rough-looking, but because it has similar functions. The band booster organization is made up of parents of students in the band who essentially produce the band members. The band boosters also fund the band for money in their built folds and provide transportation to band events. At these events, the band boosters are responsible for chaperoning band members to ensure every band performance will be a quality one. Make sense? The Golgi apparatus is vital for modifying, sorting, and packaging macromolecules for cell secretion or use within the cell. It primarily modifies proteins delivered from the rough endoplasmic reticulum, but is also involved in the transport of lipids around the cell and the creation of lysosomes. In this respect, it can be thought of as the band as a whole when performing.
When the band is out on the field during halftime, they aren't just there to fill space in the middle of the football game. The band is communicating with the audience. The music they play, the formations they make, it's to teach the audience something. The band sends this information to the audience the same way the Golgi apparatus sends information throughout the cell.
The equipment used in a band show is very expensive and often fragile. It needs protection and a place for storage like food and nutrients in a cell. While the band has cases, the cell has a vacuole. These hold nutrients so cells can store them until needed, like the band stores their equipment before rehearsing or performing. Now you've gotten a look into the world of marching band
And a look into the world of a cell.
both with requirements
And both with someone
or something
ready to meet them.